pocket. Got a fat knock from that rat profit. Made a living and a killing off it. Ever since Bill Clinton was still in office. With Monica Lewinsky filling on his nutsack. I'm an MC, still as honest, but as rude and as indecent as all hell. Syllables, killaholic.
Kill 'em all.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most influential and talented artists of the century so far. We're focusing on artists that began their solo careers or rose to prominence after 2000, so no bands will be included, as they deserve a list of their own. Number 20, Harry Styles.
Holding me back, gravity's holding me back. I want you to hold out the palm of your hand. Why don't we leave it at that?
Although many were introduced to him through One Direction, it wasn't until his solo career kicked off that he became the star he was always meant to be. With his rich vocals and willingness to experiment with new sounds and genres, he's become one of the most versatile pop stars in recent history. His heartfelt, unpretentious lyricism has earned him huge hits and plenty of well-deserved critical acclaim. It's clear how much he's committed to honing his craft, and he's proven that he's so much more than the teen heartthrob he once was. While it's unclear what direction he'll go in for his fourth solo release, both fans and casual listeners alike can't wait to find out. Number 19, Mitski.
End of my heart to you. So when I die, which I must do, could it shine?
While she may not be the biggest indie rock star in terms of popularity, Mitski has cultivated a loyal following for her raw, emotional lyricism. She can tackle a familiar topic like love and imbue the song with yearning and intense angst. She provides a form of musical catharsis that resonates with many people, even if they haven't lived through her exact experiences. Although her music has softened over the years, her words remain as cutting as ever. She made her first appearance in the top 40 in 2023, so it's clear that her career isn't slowing down anytime soon. Number 18, Tyler, the Creator.
Someone's keeping watch. I feel them on my shoulder.
Artists like Eminem laid out the blueprint for intentionally shocking tunes and influenced this artist. Tyler, the Creator, has built a legacy around his unapologetic attitude, which permeates his work and personal life. His earlier projects are intentionally jarring both in sound and content, as if daring the listener to become offended. Much like his predecessors, he walked the line perfectly, resulting in critical acclaim and a dedicated following. However, he's proven he's no one-trick pony. His recent albums have revealed how much he's matured both artistically and personally. His unwillingness to remain stagnant in his music has paid off tenfold, and his risks continue to earn him fans and acclaim. Number 17, Pink. Since the beginning of the millennium, she's proven that she can do or make whatever she wants and still see immense success. Pink has never been afraid of deviating from whatever the current popular trend is, dating back to her rock and R&B roots of the early 2000s that contrasted heavily with the bubblegum hits being released by her contemporaries. She's been able to adapt with the times, releasing hit after hit decades into her career. Both she and her music have continued to evolve side by side, and although she's pivoted to a more classic pop sound, she still manages to make it stand out. She's proof that an old dog can learn new tricks and perform them with ease.
What about us? What about us? What about us?
Number 16, Sufjan Stevens.
'Cause I really wanna know, will anybody ever love me? For good reasons, without grievance, not for sport.
Though he may not have the same level of mainstream recognition as his peers, he certainly matches them when it comes to talent. While he saw his biggest breakthrough with his music on the Academy Award-winning Call Me By Your Name, he's been dazzling listeners long before then with his lush instrumentation and introspective lyrics. A A true musician, Stevens often takes on a majority of creative duties on a new album, from the vocals to the instrumentals. Whether he's singing about religion or outer space, he manages to infuse each piece with soft yet potent emotional intensity. With his work being recently adapted into a Broadway musical, it's clear that his star is only going to keep rising, and it's completely deserved. Number 15, Phoebe Bridgers.
Wanted to go, but I didn't. You called me from a payphone. They still got payphones. It cost $1 a minute.
Although she may not have been around as long as some of her peers, she's proof that you can be new on the scene and still completely dominate it. If the themes found in her music aren't breaking new ground, the way Phoebe Bridgers presents them is fresh and captivating. She has a way of interjecting her own wit and personality into her lyrics, creating a slightly more controversial and blunt style that cuts through all pretenses. Whether it's a breakup song or one focusing on existentialism, she puts her feelings in a way that anyone of any demographic can relate to. The result is a body of work that's haunting yet extremely authentic at the same time. Number 14, The Weeknd.
Switch on my side, like take any lane. Switch on my core if I kill any pain. Look what you done.
He's one of the biggest names in recent years, and it's clear to see why. He's completely turned R&B on its head, infusing it with subgenres that aren't normally associated with it, such as shoegaze. He has the ability to make any track sound fresh, whether it's his classic, darker productions or bright 80s-inspired tracks, and his soundscape expands with each subsequent project. With his impressive vocal range and commitment to theatrical performances, he totally commands only the stage. Even though his upcoming album may be the last under this particular name, everyone is ecstatic to see what Abel Tesfaye will come up with next.
No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch.
Number 13, Alicia Keys.
I keep on falling in and out of love with you.
Although she may not be as big as she once was, there's no doubt that she's still one of the most talented entertainers to come out of the 21st century. Even with her initial releases, she displayed a sense of artistic and emotional maturity that impressed fans and critics alike. Her gorgeous, soulful vocals, combined with her impeccable piano playing, make it clear just how exceptional she truly is. With a mix of classic and modern instrumentation and production, she's been able to combine two distinct eras of music and highlight both of their greatest qualities. Fans are hoping she sees a resurgence on the charts, and hopefully, the hit Broadway musical inspired by her work will help facilitate that.
Want everything, but everything means nothing if I ain't got you. Yeah.
Number 12, Billie Eilish.
Thought I found a way. Thought I found a way, yeah. But you never go away.
She may not have the decades of experience of some of her peers, but in her short career, she's already proven how influential she is. Billie Eilish is one of Gen Z's defining stars. Her soft, lilting vocals juxtapose perfectly with her darker instrumentation, creating a contrast that has stunned millions. Although only in her 20s, she's already grown so much from her earliest work, and it's clear she won't stop progressing anytime soon. With her already being halfway to EGOT status and being the first woman to win the Grammy's 4 biggest categories in one night, it's no wonder why she's already considered to be one of the best of the modern era. Number 11, Rihanna. It isn't often a star can just drop off the map for nearly a decade and still be just as revered as she was in her heyday. Rihanna is the amalgamation of a 21st century pop star with her powerful voice, immense stage presence, and sheer star power. Each new release completely redefined her artistry by expanding upon her ability and playing around with new ideas. even if they were daunting to her. With a whopping 24 top 10 singles across 8 different hit albums, she's become one of the most recognizable and beloved musicians on earth, despite not having released a full album since 2016. Yet, the world is still patiently waiting for the day she makes her official return. Number 10. Lana Del Rey.
Hot summer nights, mid-July, when you and I were forever wild.
From derided to revered, she's shown that a bumpy start to a music career doesn't mean it has to end. Lana Del Rey ushered in an entirely new sound within the pop sphere, cutting through the radio-friendly club hits of the era with her melancholic trap pop tracks. Though she doesn't have the chart presence of some of her peers, she's been able to show that you don't need them to be successful. While her verbose songwriting is still her greatest hallmark, she also has a penchant for imbuing her work with a classic tinge, harkening back to the singers of the past century. It's no wonder why she's inspired some of this generation's best stars, and why even her own heroes have sung her praises.
Choose your last words, this is the last time. 'Cause you and I, we were born to die.
Number 9. Taylor Swift.
Grab your passport in my hand. I can make the bad guys good for a weekend. So it's gonna be forever, or it's gonna go down in flames.
Everything Taylor Swift touches seems to turn to gold, dating as far back as her earliest releases. From stealing the world's heart with her country tunes to completely taking it over with her shift to pure pop, she's proven to be a musical chameleon. Her poetic lyricism has resonated with millions, giving a voice to those who don't feel they have one. Each new album is its own cultural event, building upon the legacy she's already created for herself. The Eras Tour has propelled her even further, cementing her status as one of the biggest stars in history. It's no wonder why her cultural impact is compared to the legends that came before her. Number 8. Adele.
You have my heart and soul.
She may only release new work every few years, but each project is just as jaw-dropping as the last. Adele's rich, soaring vocals have helped make her one of the most revered singers of the 21st century, being considered an icon just a few years into her career. She helped reinvent the ballad for the contemporary era, creating the blueprint that other artists would follow. Despite having a smaller discography than her peers, each album is perfectly curated to show off her talents. To this day, 25 remains undefeated in terms of first-week sales, and it's unlikely it'll be dethroned anytime soon. People are still anxiously awaiting her next zeitgeist-shifting album.
What I chose to do, so go easy on me.
Number 7. Kanye West.
Now I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke. Now I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke.
Though he's controversial now, it's clear why he was considered one of the best rappers in the game. From the very moment Kanye West stepped onto the scene, he was unlike anyone else blowing up at the time. He's never been afraid to take chances sonically, especially when it comes to his experimental production choices. Despite that, he still manages to sound palatable to a broader audience, making each track a balancing act that he always manages to pull off. He helped usher in a new era of hip-hop, inspiring younger stars to take similar risks. Kanye is truly a once-in-a-lifetime artist, and we may not see someone like him again for a long time.
You know how long I've been on ya. Since Prince was on Apollonia. Since OJ had isotoners. Don't act like I never told ya.
Number 6. Bruno Mars.
I got a condo in Manhattan. Baby girl, what's happening? You and your ass invited. So gonna get to clapping.
Whether it's the classic sound of his debut or his newer disco-inspired aesthetic, he's helped keep genres of the past alive and well. When it comes to entertainment value, Bruno Mars has it all, with his smooth voice and ability to play multiple instruments, making him one of the most well-rounded stars of his era. His collaborations are just as iconic as his solo work, fitting a variety of styles from rap to K-pop. It's clear he has reverence for the stars that came before him, infusing his own shows and work with elements of what he loved about them. Despite that, he never comes across as dated or derivative. If that isn't the making of a star, then we don't know what is. Number 5. Lady Gaga. She's the personification of what has made 21st century art so exciting. From the moment she debuted, it was clear that Lady Gaga wasn't just here to make pop music, she was here to revolutionize it. The intense production of her early work immediately made her stand out, creating modern classics that are still beloved today. While she could have easily continued to make club bangers, she went out on a limb and switched genres multiple times, dabbling in soft rock, country, and even jazz. She's proven to be one of the most multifaceted stars in the millennium. Even when she did return to her roots with 2024's Disease, she pulled off what others couldn't, recalling what made her popular without making it sound dated. Number 4. Kendrick Lamar.
I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. Cocaine quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA.
Hip-hop went through a renaissance in the 2010s, and he was at the helm of it. Kendrick Lamar's introspective lyricism and willingness to discuss more complex topics has made him stand out among his peers. His intellectual style pulls from several artistic references, treating each listener to a truly breathtaking piece, often with its own narrative. He pours 100% of his ability into every piece, whether it's a Pulitzer Prize-winning album or a diss track roasting another rapper. He's more than a musician. He's a modern-day philosopher and activist, encouraging his audience to question the system and fight for what they believe in. He cemented himself as one of the most significant artists of our time, and it's clear he's still just getting started.
Then step this way, step that way, then step this way, step that way. Are you my friend? Are we locked in? Then step this way, step that way, then step this way, step that way.
Number 3. Amy Winehouse.
He walks away, the sun goes down, he takes the day, but I'm grown, and in your way, in this blue shade, my tears dry on their own.
Though her career and life were both cut tragically short, the impact she made in her short time is undeniable. Amy Winehouse was in another league of her own, with her unique contralto voice that brought listeners back to jazz icons of the past. Her non-traditional style not only helped her stand out, but also helped pave the way for future artists to take similar risks with their own art. She was the catalyst for other experimental singers to jumpstart their own careers, including present-day stars like Adele. She's one of the few truly timeless stars of the modern age, with her tracks sounding just as fresh as the day they first released. Number 2. Frank Ocean.
'Cause I've been thinking about forever. Ooh. Yeah. Or do you not think so far ahead?
With just 2 studio albums, he cemented himself as one of the most groundbreaking entertainers in the millennium. Though his work is based in R&B, it can't be tied down to one genre. He experiments on every level, from the melodies to a song structure. He evokes a sense of nostalgia, even in listeners who may not have a single shared experience with him. While his releases may be sporadic, each is a perfect summation of his talent. Although he has the chops to back up his reputation, Ocean goes out of his way to not add embellishments, instead letting the piece speak for itself. It's clear to see why critics and fans alike are waiting with bated breath for him to release new work.
I still can't feel my face. What am I smoking anyway? Said don't let the high go to waste. But can you taste a little taste?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Beyoncé.
Everywhere I'm looking now, I'm surrounded by your embrace. Baby, I can see your halo. You know you're my saving grace.
There are 2 words that accurately sum up both her and her career: cultural phenomenon. With her soaring, powerful voice and ability to craft a hit, Beyoncé has been a staple of the century since it first began. She's helped popularize several musical and industry tactics that are still utilized today, from dropping surprise releases to the rap-singing hybrid that is a staple of the genre. Whether it's a club track or a heartfelt ballad, each song highlights her impressive vocal and performance range. After almost 30 years in the business, she's still unafraid to shake things up and experiment with entirely new genres. Each reinvention only adds to her constantly expanding star power, and fans can only guess which road she'll go down next.
You're the one that gets me all. You're the one that always calls. I need you everything stops. Finally, you put my life on top.
What 21st century musician do you think has had the biggest impact so far? Let us know in the comments below.
Please don't stop the music. Please don't stop the music.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.